Welcome to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for Gatekeeper and Heiser Media's combined coverage of the 2023 Innova Discs Myrtle Beach Open. Thank you, as always, to our presenting sponsors, Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply for making this coverage possible. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks Wells. Dan, who do we have on our card for round two?
What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Leading the way, we have Holly Finley. Trailing is Nina Guerrero. Tied for third is world champ Paige Shue. And also tied for third is Jordan Lynds.
Couple of nice rounds put together by these ladies in round one at Splinter City. For round two, we jump over to Socastee Recreational Park. Should be an exciting, tightly wooded layout. Hole one's a par three, 301 feet. Very tight tunnel, very tight gap you got to hit. If you have a forehand, that generally shapes the fairway better, but anything you can do to get your disc down there is going to be a good shot. This is a really tight and difficult starting hole. Holly Finley leading the way after a nice 6 under first round. We know she loves to shred in the tight woods like this, so it'll be exciting to watch her out here on this course.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how these girls attack this course. Tell me a little bit about this course, how it's different from yesterday, and some of the similarities.
Yeah, nice shot there from Nina Guerrero. It's much tighter woods. A lot of these like skinny, I don't know the types of trees, so let us know in the comments what these are. Some sort of South Carolina piney looking trees all over the course. So a lot of tight rough, a lot of tight woods, and much different than the park style golf that we came from at Splinter City.
Awesome. Yeah, it seems like if this hole dictates the course at all, it seems like they're going to be having to shape a lot more shots, maybe a little bit more scrambling.
Yeah, definitely a lot of scrambling out here at Socastee. Saw 4 honestly pretty good tee shots from the card. Everybody pretty much hitting that initial gap. There is a kind of a pinch point about 2/3 of the way down the fairway that can get you into a little bit of trouble, but should be pretty scrambleable. So we'll see if everybody's able to get up and down. Seen 2 good approaches so far from Holly and Paige.
Yeah, and Paige leaves herself a little bit short with the tester putt. That was a nice skip up. But if you watched the round yesterday, you know that Paige had a couple of putting woes. Let's see if she corrects on the day.
Yeah, Paige, the only one from this card that we saw in round one. 3 new competitors, so it'll be good to get some variety here. Tough straddle putt there from Paige to kind of save the par. Gonna have to settle for a bogey, but the rest of the card is going to be able to save the par. There were no birdies on this hole on the day, so definitely not losing any strokes here with a par. It did play as the second hardest hole on the course, so definitely a tough start.
Yeah, that's, sometimes mentally that's weird to handle, right? Like you're walking up to a hole, you probably know it's one of the tougher holes, but I still think everyone's going for the 2. It's just seems like it really hard to get through there.
Yeah, just really requires perfect execution. Hole 2, a little bit of a softer hole here, just a par 3 at 249 feet. Pretty much wide open. Most right-hand, backhand players are just going to throw a nice wide hyzer out and around. That fades in a little bit at the end here. The basket is kind of tucked in this grove of trees. Pretty much just looking to give yourself some sort of birdie luck on this one.
You think this might be one of the more open fairways to start on the course?
I think this is probably the most second most open hole on the course. I will say there is a hole on the, I think hole 10 is pretty much wide open. But other than that, yeah, this one is no with no gap to hit really. It is definitely nice, but there's other things you got to worry about, right? That fence is technically out of bounds, so you don't want to swing it out too wide, and typically there is a headwind on this hole, so definitely want to make sure that you stable up and don't turn something over. We've seen some kind of early releases so far. This is a better correction there from Jordan, but just doesn't quite get the finish on it. Should still have a long look at the birdie. Actually goes a little bit deep.
Yeah, a little bit, and not to mention a steady stream of traffic for just a little extra added distraction. But Paige, I think she played this one the best right there. I mean, obviously the result of the shot is in the circle, but trusting your disc kind of out over that fence and having it swing back. You can see like some of these ones that trickled a little early, definitely making a non-wooded hole kind of tougher.
Yeah, you don't. That's the one mistake. Well, there's two mistakes. Obviously, you could yank it over the fence, but I think on this hole, oh, that could have been a fun little root bounce. But yeah, only thing you really got to do is make sure to trust your disc out wide, even though it might be a little scary to do. But yeah, good correction from Paige after a couple errant shots from her competitors. It's a par save from Nina. We'll see how those nerves are holding up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good one to knock down to not drop back one.
Yeah, those early tester putts for par or birdie. Nice birdie putt there from Paige to get herself back to even on the round. Can really set the tone for the day, right? You knock down a couple of those, a lot of tricky little straddle putts on this course, especially with a lot of trees within the circle. So, a couple of those tricky 20, 25 footers can really build your confidence and set the tone for a good solid round. Jumping in here to hole 3, par 3, 294. If you've got a forehand, that shapes the hole the best. Some sort of just straight to little baby flex that hits the gap and then fades to the right at the end of the flight. If you don't have a forehand, I'm not really sure if there's any really other way to play this hole. It is a pretty demanding line. I guess if you're going to opt for the backhand, just throwing something straight and playing for par is probably your only other option.
All right, we had a hole yesterday that you said the backhand is not doable. So, folks, leave in the comments, are we going to prove Nate wrong?
Well, nobody proved me wrong yesterday. So,
that's right.
Hopefully I can be 2 for 2 on the predictions. Paige got caught up a little early there, so far I'm looking good.
Yeah, this keeps flipping. This might be good, but it's definitely going to flatten out a little bit too much. Yeah, that like really late turning shot. I mean, you're looking for a turn almost at the end of your flight. It's just so hard to get. It's almost like you got to take a ridiculously understable disc and throw it on an extreme hyzer.
Yeah, Nina gonna opt for that forehand I talked about. I think she pulled that one a little bit, but gets through pretty much most of the way. Gonna find herself out in circle 2, pin high on the left-hand side.
This looks like it has the turn on it, but just too early in the flight for it to flip.
There's just so many trees over there. Like there aren't really gaps to get through on the right-hand side. Yeah, without puring that late flipping shot, like you said, it's just I don't think it's doable.
Well, we still have that was touching the pole there. That was a nice shot. We still have Holly, who threw the backhand, who has a shot at the bird, so it's not done yet.
Yeah, Nina up first with kind of a long look here. We'll call it a 50, 60 footer. Not a bad bit, just comes up a bit short. Yeah, Holly's going to be in circle 2, so it was definitely a very solid shot, but she's got a tricky little line, looks like, to work with.
Not a bad run, not a bad effort. Weird look, though. Paige feeling the putt early. She missed that first one, but, I mean, it's the first one of the day, so get a couple of them rolling here, and looks like she's going to be on track.
Yeah, I find with tightly wooded courses like this, correct me if you disagree, Dan, but I feel like a lot of times when I play courses like this, I'm either parked or I'm like 60 feet, and I very rarely get like those 30 footers.
Yeah,
on courses.
It's so frustrating.
Like it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I would probably agree, unless you like really hit a line really well and then get stopped by a guardian tree that's 20 feet away. But yeah, I mean, it's really tough to stay clean through these wooded holes.
We have ourselves a par frame on hole 3. Only one birdie on the day on this hole. Shout out to Juliana Corver. I bet she did throw a backhand, Dan, so maybe it is possible. Maybe it is, but we didn't see it here, so I'm still right. We jumped into hole four, par four, 459. This is I would say eagleable, but very tight par four. It's basically just a dead straight shot through a really tight tunnel the entire way. As you get up to the second half of the fairway, there are a couple different lines that you can take to kind of make your way all the way to the basket. But if you did theoretically throw a dead straight 459-foot shot, you would be parked. So it's doable, but it's a very tight hole.
Yeah, so this begs the question, do you go driver, fairway, mid-range, putter off the tee? It's kind of one of those holes where I feel like you can do whatever you want and still get the birdie. And wow, Holly just throwing a really nice hyzer flip shot and probably catches a tree right in the middle.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, it's the way it shapes. I said it was dead straight, but this hole it very subtly drifts to the left basically the entire way. So you can't really throw like the typical like hyzer flip to like get a little bit of drift shot because then you're going to catch the right side of the fairway. So if you're throwing the backhand, the best line is like the hyzer flip that stays on a little bit of hyzer the whole way. Pretty
Yeah.
technical to actually get all the way up there. I think that's why they call this a par four because it really is a two-shot hole. But your first shot, you're just looking to bite off as much as possible. This looks great from Jordan if it keeps pushing.
Yeah, nice recovery shot. Gonna have a long bid and an easy pitch up for her par, if that's what she's going for. But
Yeah, so
it looks like I was gonna ask, it looks like there's kind of two gaps there that you can hit, depending on where you land.
yeah, the second half of the fairway, there are two gaps. This is a pretty common play is like if you make it about halfway down the fairway, your second shot, a lot of people are going to take this left gap. This is a great shot from Paige. Wow.
Yeah.
Like that little patent pending turnover, basically pured. But yeah, a lot of people will end up taking that left side, but you're not really, the left gap is not really accessible from the tee, right? Because of just how it
Hmm.
shapes, but it ends up being a nice one to take on your approach. Or if you're Holly and you're on the right-hand side, you can take that main fairway the rest of the way, just catches that last tree. Unfortunately, so that'll leave her out in circle two, but there is technically also a very right, I don't want to call it a fairway, but kind of that open grassy area that continued from hole two does continue all the way down this one. So if you did kick right, theoretically, you could go out and around along that fence, but definitely not the intended option. Decent bid there from Holly from out in circle two, but just misses a bit low.
Hey-o.
Oh, wow. Long birdie putt from Nina Guerrero drops it in. 45 footer. Take another look.
Yeah, I mean, no chains and that's still going in. She's dropped
Yeah.
that right in there.
Yeah, great pace on it. Great height. Good commitment. Love to see it. Get her around moving in the right direction.
There we go. And there's the page we know.
Yeah. Starting to get on a roll here, moving in the right direction. Got a nice little small straight on the leaderboard right now. It's fun.
And this hole definitely a par four. It played .05, which is basically even over par, so definitely called it right.
Oh yeah, I mean it's so tight. Like I said, just because it is eagleable doesn't mean that anybody's actually
Right.
going to do it, right? Like it's
Yeah, yeah.
it's such a demanding tee shot if you were to theoretically get a putt at it, but it shapes the shape is doable. So thought I would mention it. Heading on to hole 5 is a par 3 at 349 feet. This one is a just subtly, or actually no, it's in the basket is in the long position. So it is a very left moving, right to left moving shot. You're going to want to throw a driver because you're going to want to get as much ground play as possible because honestly, it's hard to get the disc left enough off the tee shot here in this farther basket position. So you can see the gap up ahead. Players are looking to hit that thing with the disc moving left, and you're going to have to get a little lucky through that second half of the fairway because there's a lot of late trees you got to miss.
Oh, very nice. She flips it up perfectly, misses that one in the middle, and has a pushing forward hyzer. It's hard to imagine a better shot than that.
Yeah, it's the basket is very far left, so it would be possible, but you're gonna need a lot more ground. Ooh, this kind of goes the backside, but yeah, caught a late tree, so just a lot of trees to miss late in the flight.
Yeah.
So looking good out of the hand from Holly. Also takes the backside of the tree. Oh, gets all the way up there. That
Yeah,
looks like
that's
that
not
one's
getting
inside
that.
the circle.
Circle's edge. Yeah, it's kind of, it kind of feels like aim at that tree and kind of hope to miss it, with like
Hmm.
a hyzer flip. That second kick might have kept her out. She might have a no. I was wrong. It didn't keep her out. Sorry.
Yeah, and this is the bane of that is Socastee. Like locals will lovingly call it sock a tree because there are just so many skinny trees just off the fairway that if you get into the rough at times, a forehand roller like that or a pitch out may be your only option just because it is so thick. So yeah, staying in the fairway, hitting your initial gaps is a must out here if you want to score well.
Ooh, giving it a run. It'll be an easy tap in from there. Um, so this is one of the shots. This is what I tell a lot of people that I train with. This shot, this like Anheuser flex flick, having that shot in the woods can save you so many strokes. And I love to see, it's my favorite shot in the game, and I love to see people use it.
Yeah, nice approach there from Jordan. Paige just got herself a long look, but it's the best drive of the group from Holly.
Try to put a little
Circles.
extra juice on it and just you just yanked it just a little bit and has a little work coming back.
Yeah, with these pine needles all over the ground, definitely going to get a little more action than you're used to, especially somebody with a strong spin putt like Holly. Good correction though on that comebacker, able to
Yeah.
save the par.
And that's why she can run it like that.
Hmm.
We mentioned it with Paige yesterday. You can make those 25, 20, 25 foot comebackers. You're not really worried about running it hard.
Yeah, you saw Jordan there kind of clearing out the pine needles. Dan, I'm curious, when you're playing on a course like this, do you dig your feet into the ground or do you just kind of stand on the pine needles and hope you don't slip?
Yeah, I mean, I hope everyone does this, but I just wipe where my feet are clean. I start at the front of the disc and just wipe all the way back to get everything out. Why leave it up to chance? And
Ah,
she shows you
yeah.
why you wipe it away.
Nice putt there from Jordan. Limit the damage to just a bogey.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
that is a really good point, though. You definitely don't want to let outside influences, dictate your putt. So make sure you got good footing, and I'm sure you do the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Nice straddle putt from Paige. She's got the straddle putt rolling today. Like I said earlier, definitely going to come in handy at a course like this.
Yeah, so far, I mean, Paige only missed that first one. Everything else has been solid.
Third year of the Trophy Women's Disc Golf Championship. We are hosting women from all over the world. This week isn't just about the top women in our game. We have opportunities for spectators and fans and women who are wanting to learn the game to come out and be a part of the experience. We're doing our clinic Saturday, and the touring pros, when they finish their round, will come over and they'll teach you how to play disc golf. So you can come out, you can watch them, you can learn, you can just be a part of this experience that's all about women's disc golf.
The Innova Rolo, the disc made for rolling. 4. The Rolo, making rollers fun.
For sure, hopping in here to hole 6 is a par 3, 243 feet. This is another one of those kind of choose your own adventure double fairway holes. You can take the left gap or the right gap. I think the right gap is probably the more pure line to the basket. It's just kind of like a straight to finish backhand. The left gap, you'd have to get a little bit lucky late in the flight to just truly shape the fairway, but we'll see what the players opt for. I'm guessing we'll see most take the kind of straight-ish right-hand side.
Yeah, to the eye, just seeing it on here, that seems like the bigger gap. It also seems like more of a flight that a lot of these girls throw is that like little hyzer flip or little anhyzer flex. Um, just plays well for each of their shots.
Yeah, something like this. Maybe a little overturn there from Nina, but not a bad kick to kind of keep her on the edge of the fairway. Yeah, it's the gap, the right gap. It doesn't look as big from the tee just because of how it shapes for that like slightly drifting shot, kind of like this. Oh, a little overturn from Holly. Got most of the way through though. So yeah, you can't really see the gap, but like once you like walk up the fairway a little bit, it really opens up and you can tell how it shapes a lot better, I think, for the flight of the disc. I like the shape on that one. Just didn't quite drift right early enough.
Yeah, I thought she was going to be past it, but unfortunately takes that bad kick. This is looking pretty good, though.
Yeah.
Gives herself a putt.
Anytime, at least personally, if I'm going to a forehand roller, if I can get myself any sort of look, then I consider that a success.
That's fair. That's
yeah,
fair.
I'd hope Jordan is pretty happy with that shot. Turned out pretty well.
We need more forehand rollers. I find and Paige giving it a good bid there, just a little right. I find when I play these wooded holes, especially if like I don't really like the line or see it, I'll just throw a forehand roller off the tee, get the disc vertical, and hopefully I can hit a gap like that. But
yeah, it's less likely to hit a tree if you put it vertically, right? Or at least that's what
that's the theory.
Tell yourself,
you know?
Yeah.
Doesn't always work, but you know.
Looks like Jordan just catches a tree there on that putt, that attempt at a par save.
Here's Paige with a comebacker. Knocks it down. There's the flow. She's feeling it today.
Got a good rhythm going. No birdies on our card here on hole 6. There were 2 on the day, though, surprisingly. Chelsea Basley and Juliana Korver. Looks like JK got off to a pretty hot start.
Yeah.
Looking at these scores, we'll have to keep an eye on it as the round progresses. This is definitely a score separator course. I mean, as you can see so far, if you're on, you're going to shoot well, and if you're not, it is going to be a miserable day.
Man. The worst is when you go practice a course and you shoot like 8 or 9 down, and then you go play it and you get all the bad kicks. It's one of the most frustrating things about disc golf.
Yeah. Couple par cleanups there. Jump right into hole number 7, par 4, 491. Most players off the tee are looking to throw some sort of left to right moving shot, whether that's a forehand or a righty backhand turnover. Then from there, most players are going to have some sort of hyzer right to left moving backhand into the green. So this fairway takes kind of like a subtle S shape as it moves to the right and then a little bit back to the left. At only 491, you could get aggressive off the tee, but the shape of it doesn't really allow you to try to bite off too much. So most players just trying to hit the gap, get something moving to the right, and play it as a true 2-shot hole. That's the one. That's the one tree you got to miss.
Yeah, she called it out too. It's one of those things, right, where like you know it's gonna hit, but you say it anyway. Please miss. This looks perfect. Am I wrong?
Yeah, should be in a good spot. It looks like she got caught up behind one of those trees, so hopefully it's not too tricky of a stance. But yeah, it looked like a great shot from Nina. Holly needs this to hold. Yeah, fades out a little bit. We'll see how far into the rough she is over there. Could be a little tricky.
Ooh, this gets through. That looks like a little bit better of a position. If you're shooting towards the cameraman, a little bit better of a position than where Holly ended up.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what kind of footing these players are dealing with. Paige now just in damage control mode, looking to get back up the fairway. That kind of leaked out a little bit at the end. It's going to be a tough scramble. Yeah, so I'm expecting Jordan to throw some sort of just straight to hyzer backhand here. Yeah, a little hyzer flip. Fades
And
out a
just
little
leak.
bit at the end, but
Yeah, a little bit of leakage there, but yeah, seems like circle's edge, right?
yeah, should be. She should have a putt there. A rare forehand from Holly Finley. Just overturned it a little bit. Kind of had a tricky spot.
And as you can see, 3 out of 4 of those girls had to go to that Anheuser Flex I was talking about with that forehand. Such a good shot to have.
Yeah, it definitely comes in handy at a course like this. Kind of a tricky little lie for Paige there, but luckily, well, first of all, very well thrown, but luckily it wasn't too long of a shot to get her up and down, probably just about 180 feet or so. Tricky little up and down here for Holly as well.
Ooh, he was a little bit. Yeah, notice Paige. She steps up, she lines up her shot, and then she just goes. I can't do that. I've tried. I can't do it. Do you take your time, or are you able to just step up and throw?
Oh yeah, I'm a deliberate player, Dan.
Uh,
I know
oh yeah,
we
that's
actually
right.
haven't played
That's
together
right.
that too many times, but yeah, I use my full 30 seconds. I will
Right.
say.
It's to
But
your advantage. That's right.
exactly. All
I'll
right, so
bring up
here's a
clock.
birdie look for Jordan.
Oh,
Circle's edge, and she knocks it down. Putter's been pretty solid for her today so far. It just looks very confident on the green. No real nerves. I don't know if this is her first time playing on camera, but you wouldn't know it if it was. I will say that.
yeah, maybe pretending like the camera's not there. But getting back to it, I'm gonna bring a stopwatch the next time we play. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah.
That's fair. You can keep me honest. Ooh. Yeah, these worth mentioning too. These baskets are very old disc catchers, so hopefully we don't see any spit outs today. But I have definitely seen more than my fair share on this course. So just because those chains are a little worn in. Hole 8, 340, par 3. Most players looking to throw a straight to finish backhand. The fairway goes pretty straight, and then at the end you get a little bit of left finish. Pretty standard shot shape for most of these ladies, but that doesn't mean it's easy. Still pretty tight tunnel you got to hit, and yeah, it's another great hole on this. It fits right in on this course.
This one leaking a little bit right and takes a nasty kick over to the right as well.
Yeah, I like the line out of her hand, just a little too understable of a disc choice. Never really had time to get back to the left. This is looking good if it gets a little skip.
Come on, get on over there.
Yeah, and it does. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pin high. Going to be inside the circle. It's yanked a little bit from Nina. Not a terrible kick. Keeps her in the fairway. If that kick's right, it is insta bogey. So
Yeah, this line, she catches a late tree, but this line really shapes up well for Holly's bread and butter shot.
yeah, Nina having to go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that wasn't the worst kick after hitting that tree, but still got some work to do.
We need a forehand roller counter for Jordan. I think this is 3 on the day, and they've all worked out incredibly well.
Curl up, curl
This is
up.
insane.
Yes.
Inside the circle. Wow. I am thoroughly impressed with the control that she has with that shot.
Yeah, it comes out of her. The angle is just awesome because she has to throw a little bit of cut on it to get it,
Mhm.
you know, to get the ride that she wants. So perfectly done. And that was a beautiful flight as well.
Yeah, great shot from Nina there. Should be able to save the bogey. This is a birdie luck for Paige Shue, and sneaks it in low right.
Corner, pocket.
No pictures on the scorecard, but we do have video today.
I don't know about you, but
birdie's
I draw
a birdie.
pictures. I draw pictures.
Yeah, you like up where your disc went into the basket.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, great par save from Jordan. That was yeah, I'm still very impressed with that forehand roller.
There's Nina cleaning up her bogey look. That stays in. It's a good putt to make. You want to limit the damage. That can get away from you real quick.
Yep. Only one other birdie on hole 8 on the day. Arina Shikova gets the shout out. As we jump into the last hole on this front 9, hole 9, one of the stranger shaped holes that you will see, 258 feet, excuse me, par 3. It goes hard to the right and then hard back to the left. I think the only way to birdie it is with a tomahawk, with an overstable disc that will drift right and then come back hard to the left. Theoretically, I guess you could throw like a really overstable flex backhand, but I just don't know if there's enough time for the disc to make that flight in such short of a distance. So you'll see a lot of players try what Paige is trying. I've never seen it executed, so I would love to be proven wrong today. But it's such a like sharply shaped hole that most players you're just going to see kind of do this, like play a layup to the corner and then take your like 80-foot jump putt for par.
Let's go. Let's prove Nathan wrong once, just once. Oh.
Underturned there from Holly. It can be done. The tomahawk. I've seen that.
Tomahawk.
Again,
okay.
I have yet to see the actual backhand. Oh, this is.
Yeah,
I don't hate the forehand play from Nina just to kind of lay up to the corner, but she just didn't get it moving right quick enough. So that's going to be trouble over there on the left.
Yeah, it seems like if you don't get off the tee too, this is a really tricky fairway to even navigate for the approach. But Paige showing us, was that another patent pending shot?
I don't know if it was a true patent pending, but it was definitely a tricky lie. So it was well navigated. Holly's going to go out and around this fairway, actually.
Wow.
She must have kicked pretty far off out near the parking lot. We'll see where she ended up. But yeah, you can see where Nina kicked over there is just jail.
Jail. Yeah, jinx.
But she did get herself back to the fairway, able to hit that line, can give herself a putt for the bogey.
Little skip up. Yeah, this hole is just tough. Nobody really landed in the fairway, and everyone is struggling right now, except for Paige.
Yeah, Paige is in a good spot. Yeah, Holly, you could see over there near that, having to go all the way out and around this entire hole. I think that was a long par look for Jordan, but yeah, it's just a very weird shape, forces you. I don't hate the hole. Let me be clear. Nice, great putt there from Nina also to hold that to a bogey, but I don't hate the hole. It's just a very specific shape and not something that I've ever seen really before on a course, like a hole that forces you to throw this super specific line that you rarely have to break out. So it's just interesting, different.
Yeah. Sometimes that's good. It gets you thinking. It gets you throwing, like you said, like a new shot that you're just not used to throwing. And I like when courses throw that in every now and again.
Yeah, so nice par from Paige Shue. I believe this is going to be bogeys for the rest of our lead card. We really haven't seen too many bogeys. The card as a whole has been playing pretty clean, just kind of picking up birdies where they can. But hole 9 kind of slowing down the momentum.
There were no birdies on that hole on the day.
But there was a birdie on this putt from Nina Guerrero on hole number 4, able to knock it down from circle 2. Thank you to the Norse gods as well as our Patreon family for making this coverage possible. Make sure to head over to Heiser Media's YouTube channel if you want to watch the back 9 of this round. And then
get on over there.
Yeah, we'll see you there.